Alright, Guardian, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. Yes, weekly, now, weekly. This is going to be a hunter guide. This is probably the only guide I'm gonna do. I might do a video on the prestige mode, but this particular Nightfall is easy. It's not, I won't say easy, it's pretty good until you get to the boss fight, and then it just gets ridiculously hard. So, and it takes forever, but I'll save my thoughts on how the Nightfalls feel now for another video up tomorrow. I'll put it in the description box down below, so look out for that. If you don't know, the Nightfall is that one of the Curse of Osiris ones, the Tree of Probabilities. That is the one with like Valis Ta'aurc style boss, and the lasers and the Minotaurs and the craziness. So you'll see it when we get into it. As far as loadout goes, I use Better Devils. I think for a second or two I switch over to Nameless Midnight. I would say you definitely want, like, I think it's Mananana SR4 is the name of the scout rifle with explosive rounds. If you have that, definitely rock that. It's really good. Especially for the strike, you definitely want some sort of scout rifle. And even more so if it's got explosive rounds. Better Devils is definitely really, really good. But as long as you have a scout rifle here or here, and I would definitely say a strong hitting hand cannon, which is why Better Devils is so good, because it also has explosive rounds. And then what I was using was Wardrift Coil, and then when you get to the boss fight, we'll talk about that in a minute, you're also going to want another rocket launcher. So Wardcliff Coil and a second rocket launcher. Wardcliff Coil glitch, evidently it's not a glitch or they would have fixed it. That's how they want you to play. We are rocking the top, we're rocking Vortex Grenade, Marksman Dodge, Strafe Jump, and Ophidian Orpheus Rigs. Why do I keep wanting to call these Ophidian aspects? I don't know. Maybe I'm just retarded. It's possible. It's very possible. But this is the emblem you get. As you can see, my personal best does 191 points because it took me 37 minutes. I will say, I got to the boss fight with roughly 60-some thousand, not 60, 6,000 points, roughly. So that's how long the boss fight takes, solo. But yeah, let's go ahead and just rock into this guide. Alright, so first off, full disclosure, we're not going for points. You can do it with the points. Just kill more stuff. I got to the boss fight with 6,000-ish points. I think the most I got to the boss was with 8,000 points, which is evidently garbage because I've been seeing a lot of people post on Twitter between 67,000 and close to 100,000 points. So we're just going for completions here. But anyways, as you can see, just pretty much skip everything. If you run along this wall next to the entrance to the Infinite Forest, you'll actually come right up on these turrets. Go ahead and take them out. And then you're going to want to kill a bunch of these guys before the portal opens. You're also going to want to kill this major Centurion Colossus. Just kidding, it's a Colossus. I don't know what I'm talking about. But go ahead and kill him, and then grab your heavy ammo. Oh, I forgot. I'm using a sword right now because I totally forgot to take it off the time before. So it did make it a bit easier this opening part, but you also lose the ammo later on. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about also using a sword for this part. But for the most part, I like to just stay up here and kind of just bounce around these little bits of cover. And then as soon as you kill enough of them, you will have to come pretty much to about just in front of me here to get the update, the objective to update. As you'll see, you don't have to kill everything, just most of them. Just like so. And then you're going to make it into the Infinite Forest, and you are going to run past as much things as humanly possible, just for time's sake. And it's a whole lot less stressful, because when I was trying to kill stuff in the Infinite Forest, I was respawning here like 200,000 times. So you definitely, if you're just going for completions and you're just going for solo, maybe you want the challenge card, which you can get no matter what your points, which unlocks modifiers in the prestige mode and difficulty ratings. You actually move it up and down, which is pretty cool. But if you're just going for that, skip it. Skip all of this. So we're just going to go ahead and get to the next point. Alright, once you get to here, again, kill as much stuff as possible. You'll see this is where I switched to the Nameless Midnight. Just because it's easier to stay afar and get these Scions. You're definitely going to want to deal with them first, because they do a lot of damage from far away. And then there's a spot kind of to the far right side that I like to go to. I've come to notice on the bottom platform, and you can just kind of hide around the corner and take them out. All the Legionnaires will kind of flock towards you, but they won't actually come around that that corner. And then once you kill enough guys, you just go up to the top and the portal will open there. And then once you come here, we're still rocking the Nameless Midnight if that's what you want to use. I like to stay up here to kill the majority of these guys. It's just a whole lot easier. And if you have this in a Masterworks version, Nameless Midnight and Devil's Dawn, is that what it's called? The hand cannon? That's what we're going to call it, Devil's Dawn. We'll call it the Devil Hand Cannon, because I can't remember the name for the life of me. So you definitely want those in Masterworks if you're going to solo a lot of these Nightfalls. But pretty much just, and that's just for points more than anything, and maybe reload speed is what I would put that hand cannon on, because oh my god, does it ever reload slowly. But that's just more for, like I said, for the points, because orbs will generate points. Not a lot of points. It's like 25 or 50 points. But pretty much just take your time, kill these dudes. Be very careful with that, whatever he is, the shielded guy. Can't remember anything right now for whatever reason. Centurion, I believe. I'm gonna just go to town with him on my sword. So do that. I wouldn't waste any power ammo though, because nothing is gonna spawn it. For some reason, Bungie thinks it's a good idea to only spawn power ammo for the most part from major enemies, the yellow barred enemies, and that sucks because pretty much the entire boss fight, unless you Wardrift Coil glitch the ammo, you're not going to have any heavy ammo whatsoever. And I will talk about that in my Nightfall Thoughts guide video. Not a guide, it's just a video. Probably tomorrow as well, because it is so annoying. It's really annoying at this point. But we'll get into that in another video. This is a guide. Alright, so once you get here, this is where you should probably switch over to the Devil Hand Cannon. It'll just be a lot easier and faster. If you have something with Void on it, it'll work great, like the Manananan SR4. Anything with explosive rounds will actually do health damage to the incinerators as well as shield damage. So you'll actually be killing them a lot faster if you got some explosive rounds on there. Just a pro tip. But anyways, if you got a scout rifle, definitely take out these scions. Take out these guys, take out those guys, take out all the guys. Just kind of take your time, use your cover. We're not going for points, so there's no real rush. If you are going for points, definitely rush through it. But honestly, I'm going to say this. How Bungie has set up the score system, if you're soloing this, chances are you're not going to get a very high score anyways, so it's really kind of a waste of time to go for score solo. My honest opinion right there. So, you know, up to you what you want to try, but that's how I see it. But anyways, go ahead and kill these guys, and once you get here, try and make sure you have a smoke, or you're going to really, if you're not using a hunter, but you're maybe a warlock or a titan, you're going to want to bum rush through this next section, because we ain't killing anything that spawns in after these guys right here. But yeah, definitely kill all these first guys, and then we're going to go invis and move on to the boss fight. Alright, once you get here, this is the boss fight. Pretty much like the pre-boss fight. What you want to do is, I like to just stay up here until I get most of these guys killed. I focus on the Cabal because that little harpy isn't doing almost anything worth of damage. So that's always good. And just kind of make sure you're using either your hand cannon or your pulse rifle or whatever you're using back and forth. That way you can get different amounts of different types of ammo. Because if you don't know, Bungie's also implemented a juggler modifier that's always active in the game. I don't think it's as much as actual juggler in Destiny 1. If you don't know what that means, your equipped weapon pretty much doesn't drop ammo a lot of the time. But anyways, what you want to do, if you're a Titan, I watched a video that was so incredible. Dude's freaking ridiculously talented. He used both his pulse nades and his super and pretty much cleared this first section in like 30 seconds. It was crazy. What you want to do though is pretty much just do what I just did. As much damage as humanly possible. If you're going to Wardcliff it, Wardcliff it. If you're going to sword it, sword it. But throw all your grenades that you have, if you got more than one. Use your heavy ammo, all of it if you can. And then pretty much you're just going to run around in circles this entire time. Throw your grenades at enemies if you can. And really, especially if you're a hunter, well, if you're a hunter, go invis, and that's pretty much going to be your lifesaver. Like, I was incredibly surprised I got undefeated in this, which means I didn't die one single time. Which, if you saw my tweets from yesterday, I rage quit after doing the boss by itself for an hour and a half. So, yeah. This is difficult. This run actually takes just the boss fight by itself. Looking at the timer, is actually 26 minutes long. So we're not going to go over all of that. We are going to skip it, a lot of it. But pretty much what you see me doing is trying to take care of the ads first, and then worry about the boss when there's 0 ads. That's going to help you a lot. Throw your smoke if you've got the toxic smoke. I'm not sure what it's called in Destiny 2. And that'll also help you stay alive. Go invis. I would suggest holding on to your invis for when you get low on health. That way it gives you a couple seconds to regen some health, hopefully. But yeah, for the most part, this is it. Kill the ads. There will be 2 spawns of ads. The second one being a lot bigger. I would suggest if you use your tether on that second group, and then just throw a grenade or a rocket or something in there, and it will take out most of them, minus the scions at the top. So go ahead and just do that, and we're just going to skip over to the end of this first bit. Alright, once you get here and he starts going away, go ahead and switch to your Wardrift Coil. You are going to want to do that no matter what heavy weapon you've decided to use. That way you can just glitch and get max ammo capacity. But what I like to do is just do what you see me doing here. Use cover, take out the harpies, try and avoid, obviously staying in the middle. And be very careful of the lasers at all times. If you die at any point in this boss fight, you're gonna have to start it completely over. Whether you're in the very last section, or you're in this part, or you're in the second part, doesn't matter. You will have to start this fight all over again, and that's why I was raging so hard. Not used to that. That's a Destiny 1 thing. And this is a long fight. In Destiny 1, it would take me 26 minutes to do the entire Nightfall. I take 26 minutes in this Nightfall to do just the boss fight. Alone, 26 minutes. It's hard, it's rough, it's annoying. By the end of it, my nerves were shattered. Oh, I did die. Oh well. But as you can see, that's a good example of what happens when you die. But go ahead and kill the Minotaur, kill the harpies, collect all the ammo you can. Make sure you have Wardrift Coil equipped. It doesn't have to be fully loaded or anything. Just equip the Wardrift Coil, pick up the power ammo, and then switch to your next weapon. And then whichever power weapon you want, sword, fusion rifle, shotgun. I would suggest rocket launcher, just because you can stay at a pretty good distance and do a lot of damage, but that's just me. And then move on to the next section. Alright, next section, same as the first. The boss is going to spawn right there. Try and get a good rocket on him if you can, maybe 2. And then pretty much just come back here, take care of these scions. They will cause you a lot of grief because of the range of that their damage does. That made sense. And then just like the last room, focus on ads. Use cover to your advantage. Watch out for the lasers when they spawn in after you do enough damage to the boss. And pretty much just, you'll see it come back around here. Use your invis for recovering health pretty much. And then you're just going to just go around the room just like I'm doing right here the entire time, even when you're doing damage to the boss. Should have had that loaded. Make sure you reload your heavy ammo after you Wardcliff Coil glitch it, because it won't be reloaded. But so make sure you do that before you get into this section, that way you don't have to worry about it too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll go on to the third and final section of the boss fight. Alright, so you've made it to the third and final part. This is literally going to be the exact same thing. That was a horrible rocket. I'm going to call myself out on that. And so was that. You definitely don't want to do that. But this is pretty much what you're going to do until the lasers spawn in. Well, even after the lasers, you're going to take care of the ads just like before. But you're going to want to stay as far away as possible from the boss. So this means you might have to go invis, you might have to waste rockets on single targets like I just did, but you want to be very careful not to fly off the edge, otherwise you start the whole boss fight over again. So stay as far as possible from the boss. Get these ads out as quickly as possible, and then start doing damage to the boss. Once you get the boss to like the last third of his health, the lasers will turn on and more ads will spawn in. You're going to want to be very careful. The lasers will do a ridiculous amount of damage. If you stand in them for more than like 2 or 3 seconds, you're dead. If you get thrown off by the boss's like tractor cannon thing, you're dead, you start over. So just be very careful. Take your time. We're not going for points anymore. Just do damage to the boss as you see me doing here. Just use the trenches. Don't stay in this, like, we'll call it the stage. That's essentially what it looks like. But once you get all the Legionnaires, and I don't think there's any Styles that spawn in here yet. But do not use this stage. You see me doing here, really dangerous. This dude moves quick, but he will take his time jumping into these trenches, and you can just deal some really good damage here. And then the same thing, sometimes he'll shoot his tractor cannon at you from down here. If that happens, if you have a grenade, pop it, because that's one of the very few times you're going to be able to use your grenade effectively against the boss, is when he's shooting that tractor cannon. So just keep that in mind. Trenches, use these little sections there for cover and to trip him up, because he won't, like, he'll follow you, but he won't do it very well. Say I'm on this side, he'll run around on that side. You can literally run across the other side, go all the way down the trench, and then go into the stage. And then once he jumps up onto the stage, go into the next trench and just go into a big circle like that. That's how it's going to work for the rest of this fight. Now I would say normally I'm gonna let this just play out. I think I'm gonna speed it up, double speed, just so you guys can really see, because this is the This is the trickiest bit. Really be careful of those lasers. That's what's going to really hurt you. But yeah, other than that, hopefully this guide helped you out. Let me in the comment section down below if it did or not. If it didn't, let me know why not. I've always said constructive criticism isn't a bad thing. It's always appreciated on this channel. If you think you have an idea that could better these videos, drop it in the description down below. That's how these videos got as popular as they did in Destiny 1. Because you guys said, hey, we go over the modifiers more in depth. We go over your setup more in depth, your subclass setup more in depth. We just slow down a little bit. We talk more, we talk less, blah, blah, blah. So if you guys have anything like that, throw it in the comment section down below. Just don't be a dick about it. And yeah, other than that, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and until tomorrow, I'll talk to you guys next time. Have an awesome week.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes out, Guardian.